Hello everyone, welcome back to another drawing video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to shade with Copic markers and Prismacolor pencils. You don't need to necessarily use Prismacolor pencils and Copic markers, so it's essentially whatever marker and whatever color pencil you want to use. And in this case, I'm doing Copics and Prismacolor. So the first step you want to do is by throwing down that base coat of Copic markers. When you get that base coat down, you kind of want to shade with the Copic markers. You don't want to just leave it. You want to make it as best as you possibly can make it look. Obviously, it's not going to look perfect or even that much great. So I'm throwing down a Persian blue, and then an unsubmarine blue, and then a light blue, and then a very light robin's egg blue. So that's how I'm throwing my blues down. I'm doing a dark blue to all the way to a very light blue. You can't go from a dark blue and then to a super light blue, and that's all. You got to have a little bit in between colors. So always you got to throw in that base coat and then shade the Copics with the base coat. In order to shade the Copics, you just kind of apply them over each other from light to dark. And then after that, after you've applied your Copic markers, you're now going to want to take the Prismacolor pencil and start from darkest to lightest. So in this case, I found a Prismacolor pencil that is very close to my Persian blue, which is the darkest blue on the paper. So I kind of throw a light coat over it, not very dark, just not pressing down very, very hard with the Persian blue. And then I'm going to find the next blue in the style, which is the unsubmarine blue, and I can easily find that one. Because it's a very standard blue. Most things are kind of that lightish dark blue. So I throw another coat with that over, and then I kind of meld it in with the Persian blue. So I already went over the Persian blue with the darkness, and then I took the other unsubmarine Prismacolor pencil and also went over the blue, the dark blue. So now it takes that dark blue and it blends it to the paper. Instead of seeing all of those little grainy effect looking pieces, it smooths it out. And then I take my next blue, which is going to be a lighter blue, and then I do the same thing. I go back to my unsubmarine, which is the second darkest blue in this drawing, and then I go over it with that. So essentially, every single layer that you put over with darkness, you're going to actually go over again with the lighter blue. And then I did that one more time with the very light robin's blue. And in this robin's blue, it's my favorite blue because I can meld every single thing with it. So I throw my darkest, second darkest, and then third darkest down. In this case, it would be the unsubmarine, the Persian blue, then the unsubmarine, and then the light blue, and the robin's egg. So after I get the three dark blues down, I throw my robin's egg Prismacolor coat over everything, and that actually takes it and melds it to the paper, so you don't have those grainy effects. That robin's egg blue will really take away all the grain effect, and it's a very quick process. You don't have to spend a lot of time, and you don't want to press very, very hard with your Prismacolor pencils. Most tutorials don't tell you that you don't need to press hard. You really do not need to press hard. You kind of need to press very light to start off, and then more of like at a medium pace as you are getting the final ends of the coat. So let's recap. We take our blue, our Copic markers, the darkest to lightest. So I throw the Persian blue, the very dark one, on first. Doesn't need to be perfect, like I'm saying. And then you throw the unsubmarine, which would be your second darkest blue or whatever you want to be using, on top of that, and then kind of meld them together with the Copics. And then you want to use a light blue and meld that with the unsubmarine, which is my second darkest blue. And then I'm using the robin's egg blue to meld the light blue together with it. And you can see in this drawing that the robin's egg blue and the light blue, they don't meld well with the second darkest blue, which is the unsubmarine. They don't really do well. That's why you use the the Prismacolor pencils to meld them well. So, and then you take the darkest Prismacolor, go in the darkest color, and then you shade on like I've been saying in the tutorial. But after, I do a small little effect after. I take a pure white Prismacolor pencil, and then I go over some very key areas with it to create some highlights. And creating these highlights are an important part of the drawing, because most drawings and most pictures and most things you ever look at have white in them. They have some glare. They always do. So keep that in mind. Always use that little bit of white afterward, and you just need to press down kind of hard over where you want to go and shade it. And the colors and the markers and the color pencils, they will work with you. And it's very easy and very simple process, and most people do not show a tutorial and they get scared of shading and coloring with both Prismacolors and normal color. I hope this tutorial helped, as there's a lot to it because it takes a lot of time to shade with your Copics, and then shade with your Prismacolor pencils, and then meld them all together. So it's a long process, but it's very fun and very intuitive. And once again, I said it's quite easy. You just throw them over, then they kind of melt together. And one thing you can do, if you're sweating or your fingers are a little bit clammy, you can always rub your fingers over the drawing or over wherever you've been shading, and it will actually shade it a lot better and kind of just melds it right to the paper, so you don't see that grainy look. But that grainy look is always decent when you're looking at Prismacolor pencils or any color pencil drawings, because it gives it a different idealistic look when you're actually looking at the drawing instead of being all flat and smooth. So some people like the grain, some don't. I personally like the in-between layer, which I'm trying to achieve with this. So I hope you guys like this drawing video. Pretty easy to shade with the Copic markers and Prismacolor pencils if you just follow the tutorial and kind of listen to me. And you got to play around with it. Have fun. So if you like these drawing videos, I'll be posting drawing videos every single week. And this is drawing videos to this giant Goku poster I've been working on. So hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I thank you so much for watching.